I gotta lay down.
This is absolutely fucking insane. I don't even know what to say. Yes, they have to use milliseconds for Super Mario World. So watch this.
I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, I'm gonna make sure I
Everything's
get...
good except for World 4. 4-1 specifically. It's really being a pain in the ass right now.
Okay, here we go. Alright, let's see it.
Everything's good except for that. Like, literally.
I'm gonna move it up a little bit so you guys can see the timer, okay?
Thanks for good luck, Asmongold.
Yeah, there you go. So basically, every single jump that they have to do has to land where, like, Mario's feet are inside of this block. So it shaves off, like, a... like 1 frame rule of a second, which allows them to go down the pole and activate the animation for the next level even faster. Like, yeah, 15K resets? Yep, that's right. That's how many times it takes to do. Looks like a nice indie game. When does it come out? In a few years, maybe. So he jumped right inside there, obviously. Had to jump right to that exact location to, like, hit the trigger for the 4th level.
Something about that warp zone.
Yeah, this is totally normal.
Weird.
Totally normal gameplay.
I think I jumped second frame,
this is how I played the game the first time I played it too. Yeah, it's still in early access. Apparently, yeah, there's games still got a bunch of bugs.
Right release late.
So he's able to jump
so
inside of the piranha plants. A lot of people already know this, but the piranha plant's hitbox is actually smaller than the piranha plant itself.
Literally, as soon as I release late, it works.
Watch
wow,
this.
what a coincidence.
Wait a second.
Okay.
So I want to show you guys this real quick. I'm going to go back.
Literally.
Okay, and if you look inside of here, let's go ahead and just move all the way back here. You'll see how Mario's feet are actually inside of the block. Give me 1 second. Almost there. See, this is how you have to do it frame by frame. See that? See how they're inside of the block? This requires pixel perfect precision. Like actual pixel perfect precision in order to get this right.
Literally, as soon as I write release late, it works. Wow, what a coincidence. Okay. What a crazy coincidence.
Pixel, exactly.
How that works.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember seeing that. Yeah. Yeah, they're sub-pixels, not actually pixels. Yeah, totally normal. It's just every day, and then right there, that's another really jump. Bad. Comparatively, that's, as far as I know, one of the easier ones.
It saves. It saves. It should.
So this is so we can get to a different warp and get over to level 8, as you can see right there.
Alright.
Yep, it's that simple. Also, again, using a keyboard and mouse, instead of a controller. Just a little fun fact there. Just wanted to mention that. See that? See? He can actually jump on top of those and not get hit. Gets the extra 100 points just to flex on him. Just to let him know, you know what I mean? Just to let him know.
That was like 8-3. That's RO1 4-2.
And watch this jump right here. Watch this jump.
That was actually J in the warp zone, I think.
Watch how he does. Watch out. Watch. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready for the jump. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Real quick. Inside of the block. And again, this has to be frame perfect, pixel perfect, sub-pixel perfect jumps inside of this block, which allows him to save milliseconds inside of transitioning from one level to another.
Let's go. Nice.
What does getting in the block do?
Okay.
It lowers the time spent on the flag animation.
Let's do it.
Basically. Yeah, this is totally normal. Yeah, it skips the fireworks. Well, the fireworks only play at certain second modifiers, right? If the time is at the end of a certain second or not. I think that's what it was. And then right there, watch this. So you think he's stopping, right? Watch how he handles the bullet bill. This is, I think, probably the hardest technique to pull off, okay? Watch this. Get ready. Get ready. I'm going to go each frame. So he jumps down here. So he gets on top of this. He hits the bullet bill. The bullet bill knocks him inside of the block, so he can actually get a slightly faster, I'm talking about milliseconds faster, speed into this. And he's walking into it, and that way he saves himself the animation. Look at this here. He saves himself the animation of walking inside of this little castle. Yep. Again, totally normal. This is totally normal, average gaming, okay? Now we're in World 3. This is the hard level. I've died on this level before. Goes over this way, jumps right over there. No big deal again. Just hanging out, doing what he needs to do. Like, I get killed by these guys. Like, I get killed by these guys sometimes. They've got me before. This guy just jumps right over him like it's no big deal. It's whatever. Just hanging out, just having fun, just playing the game. Just a minute, guys. Give me 5 minutes. I gotta beat Mario. Jumps right over them. Look at those hops. Again, frame fucking perfect inside of the sub-pixel inside of the block. You see that? Frame fucking perfect. Again.
No way.
And doing each one of these takes like, I don't know, thousands of hours to master. So doing all of them in a row is really what's hard. Because somebody could probably do one of these right if they had like 1,000 tries to do it. Like maybe they could do it right. But doing all of these in a row, that's what's ridiculous. What's a subpixel? I can play a video for it if people are interested. Look at this. He does the hop. Does the hop. Look at this. Look at this right there. Oh, oh, oh. See that? And see how he moved right there? And see how this thing despawns because he gets to a certain location fast enough? Look at that. See? Piranha Plant was there. Then it not there. It there. Then it not there. Watch that. And see again right there. Go back. Let's watch this one again. Look at this hop. He pulls some ninja shit right here. Actual ninja shit. So he gets right up here and he's able to clip into this this pipe and then jump on top of that around. Yeah, he's also speedrunning his life expectancy. That's true.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This is not for real.
That's true. 2 games at the same time. Look at these jumps. If he touches the floor, it's over. If he goes too high, it's over. If he goes too low, it's over. Oh my god, it's 8 I think. I don't know. And he can tell based off of other indicators inside of the level and the time and everything like that, what pattern Bowser is going to throw with his hammers. So he preemptively knows what pattern it will be.
Yes! 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 454.881! 454.881! No way! Oh my god, oh my god. Get both quests, get both quests. Get both quests.
Yep.
Oh my god, okay, don't black out, don't black out. Oh my gosh. I am so clutch. There's actually no way. Okay.
Yep.
I'm actually gonna puke.
Get both quests? I don't know what he's doing right
it's
now.
Alright, just get both quests.
I have no idea.
881! What? This can't be real!
Yeah, like that is insane, bro. Yeah, he skipped the 113.
Go!
Exactly.
454.881!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Don't black out. Dude, 185? Like, that's,
that is actually ridiculous.
That's pretty, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. No one can beat this?
I don't know how to react. I don't know how to react. I don't know how to react. I don't know how to react.
Go way down.
This
How about
cannot
that?
be freaking real life. It actually feels like a dream. Literally,
I
God
was
took the
surprised
wheel.
about Mario.
I
Listen, the thing is, like, what you guys need to understand is that I think that people, like, don't really respect and understand how intense this really is. Like, people think, like, oh, okay, oh, cool. So he just ran through Mario really fast. Like, oh, I could do that. You just do the jumps, bro. Like, you just do the jumps. It's easy. Just jump around. But, like, nah, bro. Like, this is actually, like, super frame pixel perfect. It's absolutely insane. You're listening to this episode classic. You got fucking Poodle. How the fuck can you be? Look, I'll get Poodle mod. Just a second. Cause like, yeah, you can't. Yeah, I don't know how the fucking Twitch staff don't already have mod. But yeah, there we go. Then you can link it again. And power of a woman. Super Mario NES run is even crazier. Okay, so if you guys thought that Distortion's run was cheesy, right? Everybody thought to themselves, wow, what a cheesy run. What's it called again? Credit warp? Yeah. So, if you guys think that it was a cheesy run, let's go ahead and let's look at this one.
Welcome back. Sethling here.
Okay. This is the video. Yes. This is the video. And so, let's make sure I know exactly where it is. Okay, we're going to watch it to about right here.
That I need into the game.
So,
memory.
Obviously, he's just playing
now
the game.
I'm going to destroy some things along the way.
He's just walking around.
This guy. I'm going to load Yoshi, but I'm going to make sure that Yoshi's shell-breaking animation isn't on screen. If it was,
of course,
it would overwrite the data that I wrote by the block fragments.
So he's literally writing data onto the cartridge of the game, into the code of the game, and the data is supposed to play the credit scene for the game itself. Okay?
Earlier,
That's obviously
I took damage there intentionally. That's actually, I need to be small Mario in order for this glitch to work.
Of course.
I do a little thing with the shells. That looks kind of cool.
And so he has to rearrange each individual shell in pixel-perfect orders for the coding in the game's save file to do a certain thing. I'll be right back.
Here, I'm placing 7 different shells in precise coordinates. This is really important that they're in the exact X coordinate. It's also important how far they are off the ground.
Of course it is.
The first 5 shells that I break, it's not so important. The next 2 shells that I break, the last 2 shells that I break, it's very important that they're close to the ground, or at least that one of them is close to the ground. And but otherwise, I'm just trying to get these into the correct X coordinate. These guys, I'm just trying to break them far off the ground, actually.
They have to be in the exact pixel.
It's hard to break them close to the ground.
The exact pixel perfect area.
When they're close to the ground, they have a high velocity down.
Like, he's not, like, imagine if you watched this guy playing the game. You're like, okay, he's just goofing around playing Mario for the first time. He's just goofing and having fun.
Just kind of tough. So then, kill these guys. I have to make sure that Koopa's dead. Then get these in X positions, and I want to try and break them close to the ground, although you'll notice I don't do a very good job of it. They're actually, these 2 shells are both kind of at the pinnacle of their path, and you can see me shaking my head on camera there, because I thought that ruined the run, that it wasn't going to be possible. So for the next 20 seconds or so, I was dejected, thinking it wasn't possible.
He has to keep these fireballs on frame.
A glitch called the item swap that I'm not going to explain because it would take too long. And
oh, here we go. Here we go. Get
the
ready.
Code that I wrote, and you can see I was very surprised that it worked. This is the credits warp, and this has never been done on console before on the actual Super Nintendo. Like I said, Jeff W356 did a run on emulator. Got about 5 minutes. My time was about 6 minutes.
That's right. Yep. How did they figure it out?
I do plan on working more and
probably
because
they have the code and they can reverse engineer the code.
With some of the new strats that I have and that I came up with, it shouldn't be too hard to beat his time. But I really want to thank Jeff W356. The glitch is really technical. It involved him disassembling the code and figuring out exactly. Look how excited I am on the camera. And it involved him figuring out exactly how to manipulate the memory in just the right way to run the code that would play the credits.
So he's literally writing code inside of the game by moving different shells into certain locations, and then that causes the credits to roll. So it's cheating. No. How is he cheating? Is he cheating or is he winning? Yeah, this is it. Like, listen, I like, what's this one? What is this? I'll look and see what this is real quick. He's cheating? He not cheating? How's it cheating? Listen, the any percentage category is this simple. The any percentage category is whatever you can do without hacking that will cause you to roll the credits. That's it. Anything counts, anything goes. Whatever you can do that will cause you to roll the credits without changing the programming of the game through outside means, right? So obviously this one is different because he's doing it inside of the game. But this is totally different. Yes, anything counts. And that's it. Never seen him as Trackmania content creator, virtual, this amazing videos, so Trackmania speedruns. Yeah, this is normal. He's rolling the credits, but is he beating the game though? Gotta think about it. Yes, you're beating the game. Yes, if you roll the credits, you beat the game. I've never seen this before. Watch for rolling rocks.
In this video, I'll be explaining exactly what I do to collect Watch for Rolling Rocks in 0.5 A-presses. But first, we need to clear something up, because every time I post a half A-press video, I get the same comments over and over asking what it means, even though I always have a whole paragraph in the description explaining it, which even starts with, if you're wondering what a half A-press is,
I've never
seen
seen
before
this.
commenting to ask. But maybe what you guys need isn't a paragraph. Maybe you guys need an example. So, consider Wing Mario over the rainbow.
Okay.
Not even the whole star. Just consider getting to that cannon platform, which
Right.
is a necessary part of getting the star. So,
Got it.
how many A-presses does it take to get there? Well, if you say 0, that's wrong, because then Mario can't go far enough.
Right.
If you say 1, well, it's true that Mario can get there with 1, but
Okay.
we can do a little better.
Okay.
We can do it in half an A-press.
Okay.
To do that, we start the level already holding A, and then we use that A-press to reach the platform. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. An A-press is an A-press. You can't say it's only a half.
But he didn't
well,
press it.
TJ, Henry, Yoshi, hear me out. An A-press actually has 3 parts to it. When A is pressed,
Right.
when A is held, and when A is released. And together, this forms one complete A-press. Now, usually, it's the pressing that's useful, because that's the only part
my
that makes
God.
Mario jump. However, sometimes it's sufficient
Henry's about to
just
get
use the
schooled.
holding part, which allows Mario to do
Like,
little kicks.
bro,
to
imagine making that comment, and then the guy takes your comment and makes a video about your comment, and it gets 4 million views. Like, he will forever be known as like, oh, Henry, oh yeah, that guy that made that stupid thing. Yeah, they made the video about that dumb thing he said. That's right, true.
swim in water, to fall slowly while twirling, and
Right.
to fall slowly with the wing cap. And as for the release, well, there's currently no cases where that's useful or important, so
Okay.
don't worry about that part. Now, if we map out the required A-presses for Wing Mario over the rainbow, it would look like this. We merely need to hold A to reach the cannon platform, we need to press A to launch from the first cannon, and we need to press A again to launch from the second cannon. So, how many A-presses is that total? Well, it appears to be 3.
Right.
And if we were doing this star in isolation, then yeah, it would be 3.
Of course.
But in a full game A-button challenge run, there are other A-presses that occur earlier in the run.
What?
Such as this A-press needed to get into the course.
What? Yeah,
so,
yeah.
if we take that A-press into consideration
Uh-huh.
as well, then how many A-presses would it take?
Oh,
the naive answer
4?
would be 4. 1 to enter the
Shit.
course, and the 3 within the course that we established earlier. However, we can do better.
I got it wrong.
We can
wrong.
do it in 3 by simply holding out the first A-press to be used for the half A-press, because the half A-press only required A to be held, not actually pressed. So in this fashion, Wing Mario
Bro, I feel like there's so many A's, I feel like I'm back in fucking algebra.
over the rainbow only adds on an additional 2
Doing a lot of
A-presses to the run,
calculations.
since the first A-press just leeches off of a previous A-press. So to capture this phenomenon, we call it 2.5 A-presses. On a single star basis, you'd round that up to 3, but in a full game run, you'd round it down to 2. So, in conclusion, since that first A press counts in some contexts, but adds no additional A presses in other contexts, we refer to it as a half A press. So, going back to the video, you can see that I start the level with the A button already held, as indicated in the bottom left corner.
Right.
And so in the full game run, this A press will just leech off of a previous one, and so it won't incur an
where you guys can see
additional A
it?
press. Okay, glad that's explained.
Okay.
Now, what am I doing in the video?
So it's a
Here,
half A
I'm
press.
using a trick called Scuttlebug Transportation. You see, like most enemies, Scuttlebugs have a home, which is just a point in 3D space, and they'll patrol a certain radius around that point.
That makes sense.
So, if Mario enters that radius,
They'll attack.
they'll lunge at him to attack.
Right.
But unlike most other enemies, a Scuttlebug's home can change positions, because if a Scuttlebug bumps into Mario, the Scuttlebug's home will update to where the Scuttlebug was when the collision occurred. So, by strategically luring the Scuttlebug to the edge of its radius...
This game, this game came out, it was for kids. By the way, this was a game for kids. This is not a game for adults. It's a game for kids, so kids can understand and, play the game.
And bumping into it, we can effectively transport the Scuttlebug and its home. So, that's what I'm doing here.
Yeah, he's getting
Note
relocated.
That we can't actually transport a Scuttlebug to outside of its native room. They actually get stuck at the door. So, if your dream was to bring all the Scuttlebugs together for one big jamboree, I'm sorry, but it's not going to happen. Also worth noting is that Scuttlebugs will actually disappear if they walk into a wall while too far below their current home. So I do have to be careful to avoid that. It's pretty weird if you've never seen it before,
the light.
but I'm pretty sure they did it so that if a Scuttlebug jumps into a hole, it wouldn't just walk around down there. Anyway, I'm transporting the Scuttlebug to the corner right below the Watch for Rolling Rock star, because next I do a trick called Scuttlebug raising.
What?
And here's how it works. On the left, I show a bird's eye view of the scene, and on the right, I show a view from the side.
Okay.
Now, when Mario leaves the Rolling Rocks room, the Scuttlebug deactivates.
Does he reset?
That's because the room and everything in it are only active when Mario's in the room, or standing in a small region right outside the door, indicated here in yellow. So, if Mario isn't in the Rolling Rocks room or in the yellow region, then the room will be completely black, and everything in the room will be invisible and won't move. Conveniently, this allows us to raise the Scuttlebug by performing the following steps. First, Mario enters the Scuttlebug's radius. Although the Scuttlebug is invisible and can't move around, it can still turn towards Mario and activate a lunge. Then, Mario leaves the radius and the Scuttlebug returns to facing its home.
But what about
Next,
the lunge?
Mario enters the yellow region to activate the Scuttlebug. The Scuttlebug will perform the lunge that it started, but cleverly, we have Mario exit the yellow region right when the Scuttlebug is at the peak of its trajectory, thereby deactivating it so it won't fall down. And finally, since the
so it's up
Scuttlebug
in the
moves
air.
past its home, it turns around to face its home once more. Now, we've gotten all the height we could out of the Scuttlebug's
So they had to
current
reposition
lunge,
him. So
but that's no problem, because we can just activate another lunge by repeating this procedure. Activate a lunge while the Scuttlebug is deactivated, reactivate the Scuttlebug just for the upwards portion of its trajectory, and then repeat. As simple as
so
that.
he's going like half and then half, like half and then half and then half again. But why?
That's what I do here, and I have a second screen to show it from the Scuttlebug's perspective. Fortunately, the Scuttlebug's radius isn't a sphere, but a cylinder that extends up and down infinitely. So really, no matter how high the Scuttlebug gets, we can continue to enter its area to activate its lunges and move it upwards. There's no limit to how high we can raise it. Now, it's worth noting that I only activate the Scuttlebug while I'm not inside its radius, so the Scuttlebug will always lunge towards its home and not towards Mario. This causes the Scuttlebug to effectively travel straight up above its home. But alternatively, I could have activated the Scuttlebug while inside of its radius, and in that case, the Scuttlebug would always lunge towards Mario instead of towards its home. So it would actually make its way towards the door and then travel straight up from there.
That would make sense.
That method's actually a little faster because we wouldn't have to wait for the Scuttlebug to turn back towards its home before each activation. However, it wouldn't work for what we're doing because we need the Scuttlebug to be right next to that corner. In fact, the top of that corner has a special property which we call a misalignment. Basically, in the game's code, there's a discrepancy between the way the game handles collision checking with floors versus walls. This results in a 1x1 minute area where Mario can get under the floor without being pushed away by the walls. And if Mario's less than 79 units under a floor, he'll snap right up onto it. So that'll be important later for getting up there. Anyway, now it's time to build up some speed. And I mean a lot of speed. So to get that speed, we're going to use a trick called hyperspeed walking.
What?
And here's how it works.
There's another trick.
You probably already know that there are some slopes in the game that are too steep to stand on.
Right.
Mario just slides off of them.
Yes.
But did you know that you actually can stand on these slopes if they're submerged in shallow water? In fact, the underwater portion of these slopes has a special property. If you try running uphill on them, you'll end up running backwards at an increasing speed with no upper bound. But in most circumstances, this would cause us to end up in the water before building up any real speed. We can get a little more speed by running nearly parallel to the slope but ever so slightly uphill, but eventually the slope runs out, or we move too fast to round a corner.
Yes.
But there are some ways to have Mario walk while staying in place. For example, if there's a wall perpendicular to the slope, then we can use that. That allows Mario to build up quite a bit of speed before he breaks through. However, if the wall isn't perpendicular to the slope, then we end up sliding down into the water. That's because walls are really just rectangles that push Mario out perpendicularly. If Mario moves into a wall at an angle, the game will calculate his intended next position, then the wall will push that position out, and then Mario ends up having a net movement along the wall. So ultimately, he'll end up moving into the water. So, is all hope lost? Well, no, because Tyler CatDany figured out that we could actually make use of the gate. You see, the bottom of the gate is a ceiling, and the game doesn't like putting Mario too close to the area right under a ceiling, because it doesn't think he fits. So, if we have Mario move backwards into the ceiling, the game will choose not to move him, so we're free to build up speed in place. But not infinite speed, because we'd end up breaking free if our speed moved past the gate. So what do? We turn to redirect our speed out of bounds. Notice that we now have enough speed so that our intended next position is past the wall and out of bounds. And since the game doesn't like placing Mario out of bounds, it doesn't move him, and instead just lets him stay in place, just like the ceiling. But unlike the ceiling, out of bounds goes on forever, so we can essentially build up as much speed as we want without having to worry about breaking free. So now I do just that. Open the gate, use the ceiling of the gate to build up some speed,
so he's building
and then
speed already?
my angle out of bounds to build up the rest. Now, you're probably wondering what I'm going to need all this speed for. After all, I do build up speed for 12 hours. But to answer that, we need to talk about parallel universes. And if you thought my other tangents were complicated, just you wait. Okay, so Mario's position is a
Bro, this is what a parallel universe? Where are we going? Oh my god, bro, it's a 12-hour trip. What is this? This is a kid's game. What the fuck? We're talking about physics.
Floating point number, but it's converted to a short when the game uses it to test for collision with floor triangles. In other words, Mario's position can basically be any decimal number, but it's converted to an integer between negative 32,768 and positive 32,767 inclusive. So, any fractional portion is truncated, and numbers too big or too small are moved into this range using the modulo operator. Graphically, that means that the position used for floor detection is always inside of this box. So if Mario's in that box, then his actual position and the position used for floor detection are the same, albeit maybe off by a single fraction due to the truncation. But if Mario leaves that box, then his actual position and the position used for floor detection will separate, since the position used for floor detection will just loop back around to remain in the original box. So now I ask you this. Here's the course. So if Mario is standing way over here where there's no land, but the position used for floor detection is on land, can he stand over here?
Yes.
The answer is yes. As far as the game sees it, Mario is in fact above land over here because the game actually checks for land over here. So, for all intents and purposes, there is essentially land over here, a copy of the original map. And this is what we call a parallel universe, or a PU. And this applies to every one of these boxes. So there's actually a grid of nearly infinite PUs. Here is a to-scale diagram of the PU grid.
Oh my
As you can see,
what?
the PUs are actually pretty far apart, but I'll be taking some creative liberties and drawing them closer together for the sake of clearer visuals. Now, PUs aren't as glamorous as you might think. The graphics are only found on the original map, so the PUs are completely invisible.
So-
Furthermore, PUs have no objects, like elevators or item blocks,
So he has to-
no enemies, no items, like coins or stars, and not even any walls. So really, it's pretty barren. Furthermore, the N64 console will actually crash if you go to a PU and let the camera follow you, but luckily, we can avoid that crash by fixing the camera in place on the original map before leaving it. Though, that does make it even harder to tell what's going on in the PUs.
So he has to-
as you just saw, you can travel to a PU if you have enough speed.
So he has to go to a parallel universe with his camera locked in place and just by memory speedrun the parallel universe of the map. What is this?
But it's not as
Naturally.
simple
Yes,
as you
it's
might
inevitable.
think. If you have just enough speed to reach the PU one over, it won't actually work. That's because the game actually checks if Mario is above land at each quarter step of his movement. That means the simplest PU movement is moving over 4 PUs at once. That way, each quarter step is above land and therefore valid.
So he has
For
to-
simplicity, we
So he's walking over four different. Oh my!
call this quadruple PU distance 1 QPU. Now, up until this point, I've been glossing over a very important detail, which I now need to clear up. What if I
course.
told you the distance Mario moves isn't necessarily equal to his speed? For example,
course.
look how fast
How
Mario
can we
moves
forget
at
about
31
that?
speed on this flat slope, and now compare it to how fast he moves at the same speed on this steeper slope. In both cases,
Okay.
he has about the same speed,
speed of
but
32.
clearly he's moving at different rates.
True.
That's because the distance Mario moves is only a portion of his actual speed, and this portion depends on the slope of the ground.
Okay.
The steeper the slope, the smaller this portion is.
That makes
Note
sense.
that it only depends on the
Okay, I
steepness,
understand.
not
All right. Now I understand this graph. Okay, guys, like this graph makes sense. I get it. Guys, I think I'm understanding this.
whether Mario's facing uphill, downhill, or
Absolutely.
sideways on the hill. In these visuals, blue will represent Mario's actual speed, and green will represent the portion of it that he moves, which we call Mario's de facto speed. So in these three pictures, Mario has the same speed, but he has different de facto speeds since he's standing on slopes with different steepnesses. So, if we want to move 1 QPU, it's not sufficient to have QPU speed. We need QPU de facto speed, which often means our actual speed will need to be greater than 1 QPU to compensate. So to reiterate, we need to increase our speed until our de facto speed syncs up with 1 QPU, and the speed needed to do this is called the sinking speed. So in this diagram, the blue arrow represents the sinking speed. When we have that speed, the quarter steps of the de facto speed sync up with the PUs, and we can move. Now, what I'm showing here is just the lowest, or first sinking speed, aka the speed to move exactly 1 QPU. If we increase our speed, eventually our de facto speed would sync up again when it covers a distance of 2 QPU, and so we'd be able to move at that speed, which is 2 times as fast as before. So in general, any multiple of the lowest sinking speed is itself a sinking speed, and will cover multiple QPU at once.
So it's
remember,
multiple-
every slope has a different set of sinking speeds, and this
So it's like infinity, like multiple levels of it. Bro, imagine how dumb Henry feels right now. Bro, imagine Henry right now watching this fucking video. This makes perfect sense. You ready to do this? Yeah. Bro, like Henry, I feel like he probably is never gonna make another comment on YouTube again.
can make routing tricky. For example, in the video where I do PU movement to reach the secret aquarium, I had to traverse several different slopes. First, this slope that I used for hyperspeed walking, then this slope at the edge of the water, then the flat ground of the castle foyer, then the castle stairs, which is really a steep ramp, and then the flat ground of the upstairs. And note that the stairs you see there are actual stairs and not a ramp, so they're just flat ground. Here is a graph showing the sinking speeds for each of these slopes, and so these are the speeds I need in order to have PU movement while standing on each of these slopes. Naturally, the steeper slopes have greater sinking speeds. Now, keep in mind that I can only build up speed while I'm
Like,
on...
this isn't like a troll, right? Like, this is not like some bullshit at the very end of it, he says, yeah, I can't believe you believed all this. Like, this is actually, like, this is, like, real... okay, so, alright, it's a real... okay, alright, it's a real thing. Got it.
A hyperspeed walking slope.
I was worried about that.
Once I leave it, I can't generate any more speed, so my speed will only decrease from there. So to successfully perform this PU route, I better have generated enough speed to meet each slope's sinking speed in turn. For example, let's say I build up enough speed to reach the first possible sinking speed,
right,
and I use that to go to the next slope.
Okay.
Then I could let my speed drop until I reach this slope's sinking speed, go to the next slope, let my speed drop again until I reach this slope's sinking speed, go to the next slope, but then I have a bit of a problem. I have less than the required sinking speed and no way to gain any more. So is this route just impossible? Well, no, because these are just these slopes' first sinking speeds. But remember, any multiple of these will work as well. So now let's factor in each slope's second sinking speed as well. These speeds allow Mario to move 2 QPU at once instead of 1. So now, if I instead build up enough speed to reach the second sinking speed of that first slope, then I'll actually have enough speed to meet each sinking speed in turn and complete the route. And if that didn't work, we could have considered each slope's third sinking speed and so on until we did get it to work. However, which sinking speed we need to reach initially is kind of a big deal, because reaching that first sinking speed takes about 12 hours, and reaching that second sinking speed takes about 25 hours. So if there's a way to use a lower sinking speed initially, then that's a 12-hour save. So, how much speed will we need to generate for the Watch for Rolling Rocks star? Well, keep in mind that even with access to unlimited horizontal speed, we don't have any improved vertical mobility. So to get to the top of the course, we need to travel up slopes and ride up elevators. So this will be the basic route. Start on the hyperspeed walking slope, navigate along the path up from the lake, ride up this elevator, ride up this other elevator, make our way onto the amazing emergency exit platform, which is the highest point we can reach, and then launch to the Watch for Rolling Rocks platform. By itself, that still won't be enough height, but the scuttlebug we positioned will provide the extra bounce we need. So this is the graph of...
Oh, I forgot about him. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's all part of the... like, it all comes back to the scuttlebug, boys. You thought it was over, it wasn't over. Like, this is just, it's only the beginning.
The sinking speeds of these slopes. Unfortunately, we run into a bit of an issue with the path up from the lake. That area is actually made up of dozens of floor triangles that each have different slopes. But that didn't stop me. After careful observation and scrutiny, I isolated 6 triangles which I named T1 through T6. These triangles have strictly decreasing steepnesses, so we can meet each of their sinking speeds in turn. Additionally, their heights span the entire vertical distance we need to cover to go from bottom to top, without leaving any gaps in between. So, by using the slopes of those 6 triangles, we can complete the blueprint for our route, allowing us to utilize the first sinking speed of that initial slope, so building up speed only takes 12 hours instead of 25. Now, we're almost ready to go back to the video, but there's just some final points I want to make. For example, you don't need to have exactly the sinking speed to traverse PUs. If you have slightly less than the sinking speed, you'll move relatively forwards in the map. If you have slightly more than the sinking speed, you'll move relatively backwards.
That makes sense.
And the further you deviate from the sinking speed, the greater this relative movement will be.
Yes.
Additionally, if you adjust your angle slightly away from the cardinal direction, you can move relatively sideways. But keep in mind that even the smallest possible angle deviation will be magnified over the QPU distance.
Yeah, because the trajectory.
Mario will be sent multiple feet to the side. Now, based off what I've told you, you might think you can only travel multiples of 4 PUs at a time. But that's not actually true.
Why not?
For example, if one of your quarter steps is out of bounds or over a ceiling, then that quarter step will be invalid. And since Mario moves up to but not include...
Oh no. So he's gonna have to find an amount of parallel universes that aligns with the quarter stepping?
including the first invalid quarter step, he can in fact end up stopping prematurely at one of the quarter steps.
Can't let that happen.
Separately, if you change slopes during a quarter step, your de facto speed will change and you'll alter the distance of the next quarter step. And so most likely, it will no longer sync up with a PU and you'll end up stopping on the new slope.
Right.
Finally, for simplicity, the set of PUs that are multiples of 4 away, we call the QPU grid. And if Mario's on the QPU grid, then we say he's QPU aligned. Remember, moving a multiple of 4 PUs is easy, but moving a different amount requires special conditions like out of bounds or changing slopes. So, if you're QPU aligned, it's easy to stay that way, and if you're QPU misaligned, it's easy to stay that way as well. Now, if you become QPU misaligned, you'll need to correct that in order to return to the main map. But that can be difficult if you're not near out of bounds and your sequence of slope changes is predetermined.
Right.
So, managing your QPU alignment is one of the many challenges of planning a PU route. Okay, so now we're finally ready to resume the main video and watch the PU movement. Just kidding. First I need to explain what these screens are. These extra screens will help you follow along during the PU movement. The standard view is just the view that the game shows, but since I fixed the camera on the main map to prevent the game from crashing, this screen won't tell you very much. The relative view shows where I am in each PU. This is what it would look like if I let the camera follow Mario around, and if PUs weren't invisible. The relative map also shows where I am in each PU, but from an overhead perspective. And finally, the PU map shows where I am in the PU grid. Okay, so now let's really start. So, as I explained earlier, I navigate up the path from the lake using the 6 triangles I isolated, and I've marked them in the relative map so you can follow along. So basically, I get onto a triangle, let my speed drop until I'm around the sinking speed for that triangle slope, then navigate uphill on the triangle, and then move to the next triangle. Using what I taught you, you should be able to follow along with my movement. For example, I'm able to move relatively backwards because I have slightly more than the sinking speed. Whenever I move sideways, it's because I'm slightly angled away from the cardinal direction. And every time I move from triangle to triangle, my QPU alignment changes. But cleverly, I planned it in such a way that they all cancel out by the end, and I'd end up QPU aligned. So right now, I'm on the 6th triangle, so I do a little zigzag to bring me back towards the main map, as you can see on the PU map screen. Remember, I need to return to the main map in order to access the elevator, since there are no objects in PUs. As you may have noticed right there, the elevator didn't register me until I started kicking. And that's actually the reason why I've been holding A this entire time. By holding A, I can press B.
I forgot. Oh my god, I forgot all about A. Oh my god, I forgot about A. Holy shit. Jesus, those are that bro, what?
To do these little kicks. Without these kicks, I go through the elevator, but with the kicks, I can ride it up to gain precious height. Okay,
bro,
so now
Henry
we're closing
must be
in
feeling
on the
really
end.
stupid right now.
The final movement I do will be a kick onto the amazing emergency exit platform, then turn and launch myself towards the scuttlebug. That movement will bring me 10 PU to the right and 3 PU down, but since I want to end up on the main map, I reverse that displacement and so position myself 3 PU up and 10 PU left. While doing that, I simultaneously position myself in the correct relative part of the map to make the movement work. Okay, now don't blink. And there we go. By bouncing on the scuttlebug and ground pounding in the misalignment, I achieved just enough height to get onto the Rolling Rocks platform. Here, I show an abridged version of the scuttlebug race, and their movement. While doing that, I simultaneously position myself in the correct relative part of the map to make the movement work. Okay, now don't blink. And there we go. By bouncing on the scuttlebug and ground pounding in the misalignment, I achieved just enough height to get onto the Rolling Rocks platform. Here, I show an abridged version of the scuttlebug raising, in case earlier's viewing was too choppy to follow. As you can see, the scuttlebug moves back and forth above its home. At the end, you can see I do 2 special raisings purely to move him sideways and closer to the corner, since he ended up being too far away for the bounce to work. And here I show an alternate angle of the final PU movement. The scuttlebug actually became active once I entered the PU version of this room, so I really only had a handful of frames to get over here before he fell too far. And there you have it. Watch for Rolling Rocks done in 0.5 A presses. Man, I did not expect this video to become 25 minutes long when I started commentating, but I guess there was just that much to explain. Hopefully, you were able to follow along with my explanations and visuals, learn something new, and had an enjoyable experience. So, Thanks for watching.
I gotta lay down. Guys, I gotta lay down. Like, I gotta lay down. I gotta do something. Like, I just, like, what the fuck? Like, how does this even happen? Like, how does anybody figure this shit out? How does anybody even know this? Like, what the fuck? This is insane, man. This is absolutely fucking insane. I don't even know what to say. This is crazy. Bro, Henry, like, has anybody ever been owned as much as Henry did in this video? Like, has it ever even happened? Like, I don't even know.
An A-press.
Like, I don't even know if this is possible to happen. I have no idea if this is even possible for it to happen. Like, how could a person like this ever get owned? Like, nobody can ever be owned this way ever again. There's too much. Where, like, whenever I was confused, I saved select world music and I would play. I legitimately believe it's one of the greatest videos on YouTube. TJ Henry has been awfully quiet ever since this dropped. Show your friends this whenever they're high. Revolutionized with a virtual multiverse because you don't want to let go of a button. Henry just wanted to have an opinion, and that's what you get. That's what you fucking get. If you want to have an opinion, that's what you fucking get. Yeah, Henry got obliterated in every single parallel universe that Mario has ever had. Okay, you understand that? Like, every single parallel universe Henry is owned in. There is no parallel universe that Henry is not owned in. Like, that's it. He's done. He's finished. He's completed. Like, it's over. Like, he's obliterated in all universes. Owned throughout the entire multiverse. Somebody please check on Henry. I'll link you guys this video if you need to watch it again and you know, make sure that you didn't miss anything. Okay, I know there's a lot to go through with this, so it might have been easy for you to miss a part of this, but yeah, the QPU yes exactly. Look at Henry's comment. Henry didn't make a comment, did he? There he is. Oh my god. This video showcasing my comment about a half-second A-press, or a half A-press, has caused my channel to be attacked by fans of your videos asking why I thought what I did. It's actually pretty hilarious. I had not considered that you were doing a full game run. I was wrong, and I didn't understand what that meant. Sorry for my foolishness. And thank you for showcasing just how much Super Mario 64 can be exploited to create one of the most entertaining speedruns of all time. Imagine if he said instead of that, oh, Lion Ted. Oh, there he goes again, making up the bullshit. Uh-huh. Yeah, just like, nope, that's not, yeah, right. I'm not gonna watch this whole thing, dude. Yeah. Just out of the whole thing, man. Yeah, Lion Ted. Oh my god, we all make mistakes, but we can do better. Oh my god, you need to talk about parallel universes. Oh my god, I was wrong. Thank you for the information. Yes, it's like, you know what's so funny? It's like you can't even pretend like you were right. In this situation, you can't even pretend like there was a look at the editors. You can't even pretend like there is a possibility that there's even a universe in which you could be right. There is literally no parallel universe, and it has been explained thoroughly in the video in which you are right. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. This is unbelievable, man. Like, I love videos like that. I think they're so fucking cool. They are amazing, man. He said, yeah, I should have said, you're such a nerd, dude. Yeah, you're such a nerd, man. I bet you don't even have a girlfriend. And that was it, bro. Like, that's all it needed to be. I honestly don't even know. There's a 2-minute long .Q5. No. This is just...
This is not like this is a 2-minute video. I will look at a 2-minute video. Then after that, I want to watch something else. Okay. My brain is going to explode into a parallel universe.
In this video, I'll be explaining exactly what I do to collect rolling rock on the rolling rocker 0.25 A presses. But first, we need to talk about parallel universes. But first, we need to clear something up. I know what you're thinking. An A press is an A press. You can't say it's only a quarter. Well, TJ.
Bro, did he really? Oh my god.
Henry, Yoshi.
Oh no.
You need to update your home.
A press is a press.
An A press actually has one part to it. When A is pressed, and together, this forms one complete A press.
So how is it 0.5?
Okay,
or sorry, 0.25.
Now it's time to build up some speed. And I mean a lot of speed.
Okay.
Now, you're probably wondering what I'm gonna need all this speed for. After all, I do build up speed for 32,767 hours. But to answer that, we need to talk about TikTok clock. Okay, so a short while ago, Kaiman showed me a video on Twitch which caught my attention. I'll play you the video now.
Okay, alright. I haven't seen this one before.
I'm a scat man.
As you can see, this Twitch player, Dota Teabag, was very high for seemingly no reason. So, proceeding under the assumption that this is a new glitch, this would be the ideal plan. First, we reproduce the glitch. Second, then finally, we exploit the glitch.
True.
I myself have tried to reproduce the glitch, but have had no success, which is why I decided to put a bounty on this glitch of $1. That's right. The first person to reproduce the glitch and send it to me will be rewarded
wow.
$1.
Okay. All right,
so
we're
now we're
getting
finally
serious.
ready to resume the main video and watch the PU movement. Just kidding. First, I need to explain the Pedro spot, and it's pretty powerful. You see, once upon a time, a guy named Pedro showed the ABC crew a magical spot in Cool Cool Mountain, where Mario seemed to get stuck. And there you have it, rolling rock on the rolling rocker done in 0.25 A presses. Man, I did not expect this video to become 2 minutes long when I started commentating, but I guess there was...
Bro, this is just, it's just like, it's edited. It is, like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, you see what I'm saying, guys? Like, that's basically where we're at. Yeah, this is just so, it's fake. Okay, Henry. All right, Henry, I see how it is. Yeah, sure. Nice try, okay? Yeah, you think we're not going to catch on to that? This game has more mechanics than Lost Ark? Yeah, exactly. Like, this is nuts.